Hare Krishna, dear friends. Today we are resuming with our Srimad Bhagavatam reading, the daily Bhagavatam mirror. We are in the 11th canto, chapter 8, the story of Pingala. And before we start today, a little bit more Western, Jaya Radha Madhava, a few lines. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narotamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet, Nashta Prayeshva Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavat Yutama Shloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we continue with our reading of the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are in the 8th chapter of the 11th canto called the story of Pingala. We are still in the summary. In the front of each chapter there is a summary. And here we hear from a prostitute who happens to be the 9th guru we can find in nature. Previously in the episodes before I have read, we learned from 8 different gurus. You can listen to the recordings if you are interested. And today we have the prostitute, and here her name is Pingala. And now I will read. There was once a prostitute named Pingala in the city of Videha, and from her the Avaduta learned another lesson. One day she dressed herself in very attractive clothing and ornaments and was waiting from sunset until midnight for a customer. She waited in great anticipation, but as the time passed, her mind became very uneasy. No man came to see her, and in disgust she finally became renounced, giving up her hankering for the arrival of a suitor. Thereafter she engaged herself in thinking only of the Supreme Lord, Hari, and her mind achieved the supreme platform of peace. The instruction received from her is that hopes for sense gratification are the root cause of all suffering. Once again, the instruction received from her is that hopes for sense gratification are the root cause for all suffering. Therefore, only one who has given up such hankering can fix himself in meditation upon the personality of Godhead and achieve transcendental peace. And here the summary ends. So by this summary we can get an idea what is awaiting for us in the following chapter. And one second, I have to switch off the notification. So here we hear from a prostitute named Pingala, and she made herself ready for customers. She dressed herself very attractively, and then she was waiting. But it happened in this evening that no customer came by, and she became more and more frustrated. Where are the customers? I have dressed myself so attractively, and so what's going on here? And she was waiting and waiting, and up to midnight no customer came, and she went into a renounced mood. She thought, well, anyway, then that's the situation. There will be no customers, so then why should I worry so much? Why should I hankering so much? Why not accept the situation as it is? Today, the sense gratification is not what happens for me, so therefore I will engage myself in the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is also what we learn from Bhagavad-gita. There is one shloka, Bhogaishvaryas prasaktanam taya parita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhir samadho na vidiyate. It is said there that, or Krishna explains that a person who is always absorbed in sense gratification, always hankering for more sense gratification, is attached to material pleasures. In his mind, there will not be the state of consciousness where that person is willing to start engaging in devotional service to the Lord. Samadho na vidiyate. So therefore, what we can learn from this, even from the summary, we have not even started the whole chapter, but what we can learn is that as soon as the prostitute renounced the thought of sense gratification, be it her profession itself, or be it the earning of money. This can also be a type of sense gratification. When we work, the work or the job or the profession itself might not be very pleasurable, but the knowing that, oh, I'm earning money now, maybe 20 euros I have earned now, I have worked for 1 hour, I have already earned 20 euros, let me work another hour, I have maybe earned 40 euros, and then when the day is over, or when my work is over, I have earned, I don't know, 80 rupees, 80 euros, or 100, even 100 euros. And when the week is over, this times 5, I have earned 500 euros. So the work itself might not be always pleasurable, but the knowing, the awareness that oh, I'm earning money. And then afterwards, after the work is over or after the week is over, then I can enjoy the fruits of my work. So, yeah, when the prostitute realized this will not happen today or tonight, then she thought, anyway, why all this hankering? Let me focus my mind on the Supreme, on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then when we do that, then a deep satisfaction in our heart will develop. We cannot really become satisfied by material sense gratification. It is only possible when we, as the spiritual soul, engage in our eternal occupation or in our eternal activity, namely to connect oneself with the Supreme Soul, Lord Sri Krishna. And then real happiness, real satisfaction in the heart then will manifest. So let us start with the chapter now, with the first shloka. In Sanskrit it is like this. Shri Brahmana Uvacha Sukham Aindriyakang Rajan Svarge Naraka Evacha Dehinam Yat Yata Dukam Tasman Necheta Tat Buddhaha. Okay. So the translation is, the saintly Brahmana said, O king, the embodied living entity automatically experiences unhappiness in heaven or hell. Similarly, happiness will also be experienced even without one seeking it. Therefore, a person of intelligent discrimination does not make any endeavor to obtain such material happiness. Purport. One should not uselessly waste his life pursuing material sense gratification, because a specific quantity of material happiness will automatically come to one as a result of one's past and present fruitive activities. This lesson is learned from the Ajagara or Python who lies down and accepts for his maintenance whatever comes of its own accord. Remarkably, in both material heaven and hell, happiness and unhappiness come automatically due to our previous activities, called karma, although the proportions of happiness and unhappiness certainly vary. Either in heaven or in hell, one may eat, drink, sleep, and have sex life, but these activities, being based on the material body, are temporary and inconsequential. An intelligent person should see that even the best material situation is actually a punishment for previous unlawful activities executed outside the scope of loving devotional service to God. So this sentence we have to read again. This is quite significant. An intelligent person should see that even the best material situation is actually a punishment for previous unlawful activities executed outside the scope of loving devotional service to God. We will come to this point soon. Let us continue. A conditioned soul undergoes great trouble to obtain a little happiness. After struggling in material life, which is full of hardship and hypocrisy, one may receive a little sense gratification. But this illusory pleasure in no way offsets the burden of suffering one must bear to obtain it. After all, a pretty head is no cure for a homely face. In other words, you may wear the most beautiful hat, but if you are ugly, if you have an ugly face, then in spite of how pretty your hat is, it will not make your face more pretty. You still look ugly. This is what it is said here. If one really wants to solve life's problems, one should live simply and reserve the major portion of one's life for loving service to Krishna. Even those who do not serve God receive a certain standard of maintenance from Him. Therefore, we can just imagine the security the Lord affords to those who dedicate their lives to His devotional service. Okay, let us make a short stop here. So, one sentence I thought was quite significant. I will read it again here. An intelligent person should see that even the best material situation is actually a punishment for previous unlawful activities executed outside the scope of loving devotional service to God. So one might wonder, I thought the best material situation is a good thing. Why it is said here that an intelligent person see this as a punishment? And the answer is that even the best situation here in the material world is still a punishment. And Srila Prabhupada, he once gave the example that suppose you are a criminal and you come to prison. Then in prison there are first-class criminals, those who behave very well. They get better, I don't know what the word is, a cell, a prison cell, a little room where a prisoner is arrested. He has to sit there, or he can watch some television. And there are also rooms. They are very dark, and maybe you have to share them with 4 other prisoners, and the toilet is not cleansed. So that might be a second-class or third-class prison room. So the first-class prisoner might think, oh, I feel very good here in this prison because I have this first-class room here. But for people living outside of the prison, in the real world, so to say, they will just think, oh, he is a fool. He has not realized that he is still in prison. He is captured there, captivated. He cannot go out like we can go through the parks, and we can go to the lake or to the coast, and we can do everything what we like. But this so-called first-class prisoner, he has no freedom. He might have a television, and he can choose with which channel he wants to watch, but that's all. So that is one thing that came into my mind, that even the most nice circumstances here in the material world can be compared as a first-class prison cell. That's the point here. So let us finish this purport. Unrefined fruitive workers foolishly worry only about the present life, whereas more pious karmis imprudently make elaborate arrangements for future material sense gratification, unaware that all such enjoyment is temporary. The real solution, however, is to understand that by pleasing the personality of Godhead, who is the master of all senses, also called Rishikesh, who is the master of all senses and all desires, one can attain permanent happiness. Such knowledge easily solves the problems of life. End of purport. So here another interesting point is made, that we have two types of fruitive workers, two types of so-called karmis. One is who is thinking that this life is the only life, and I have to enjoy as much as possible within my, let's say I will live for 80 years or so, let me enjoy as much as possible within this 80 years, and even do criminal things if needed. The main thing is that I enjoy within this 80 years, because this life is the only one. Many people think like that. This is the unintelligent fruitive worker, the stupid fruitive worker or stupid karmi. And then there are more intelligent fruitive workers, more intelligent karmis. And they know that, no, this one lifetime is not the only lifetime. Let me enjoy in such a way that in the next lifetime I again can enjoy. And that means these fruitive workers, they also engage in pious activities. They do good things. They help others. They dig wells. They give charity to the poor or sick people, with the purpose that in their next life again they will enjoy. So of course these people are way more intelligent than the stupid fruitive workers who think that this lifetime is everything, and after death everything is over, so therefore let me just enjoy without very unreasonable. So still, here it is said in this purport that still the so-called more intelligent fruitive workers, they actually are also foolish, because they are also very much absorbed in the idea that sense gratification is everything, and by this they are forgetting their actual real position as the eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this sense, even those fruitive workers are very foolish, and it is just a matter of time that those fruitive workers, those conditioned souls, may degrade themselves and also fall down and go down into the lower species of life. So this we can learn here from this verse and from this purport, and that also one main theme here is that happiness and enjoyment often come in their own accord. Often we do not really aim for happiness or aim for suffering, but it comes. It comes due to our past karma from previous lifetimes. We sometimes find ourselves in a very happy condition. We get this job we want, surprisingly, or we win in a lottery, or you have your own examples. And also we do everything possible to avoid suffering. The suffering is coming, someone comes and is burning your house, or is taking away your beautiful wife, things like that. So this is all due to previous karma, and we can only to a limited degree strive for happiness and distress, but a good portion in our life, it is already destined how much suffering and how much happiness we will attain on the material platform. Of course, when we engage ourselves in spiritual activities, in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we will experience spiritual happiness that is transcendental to material suffering or happiness. We can even be happy while suffering materially. We can even be spiritually happy. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of our previous acharyas, he once said that I might be in hell, but if I execute devotional service, if I be engaged in devotional service to Krishna, I feel very happy, even in hell. And he continues, and I might be even in heaven, but if I forget to engage myself in devotional service, even this heavenly situation is like hell for me. It is the greatest suffering. So this is what we can learn here, and tomorrow we will continue with the second shloka. Just to give you a teaser, I will read only the shloka. It is said, following the example of the python, one should give up material endeavors and accept for one's maintenance food that comes of its own accord, whether such food is delicious or tasteless, ample or meager. Thank you very much for listening or watching, and see you tomorrow for the daily Bhagavatam Mirror episode number 5. Hare Krishna.